Hi there, Luke here with another video, and welcome to episode 3 of our Eurotrip 2020 series. From where we last left off in episode 2, we had stayed the night in the city of Le Havre. The following morning, we took a remarkably cheap bus for only €2 per person to get from Le Havre to the city of Étretat. It only took about an hour to get there, and we were lucky that they had some earlier morning bus trips so that we got to experience this cute, charming town at a time when there weren't a lot of other people out and about. It's also a nice time to visit in the morning because it's low tide, which allows you to walk pretty far out onto the beach into some really beautiful beach rock cliff areas. We pretty much used this to our advantage and walked straight to the beach, where we walked towards the Falaise d'Aval, which is a beautiful beach area that has wonderful views of chalk cliffs. Once we were done soaking in the picturesque atmosphere, we took the nearby coastal cliff pathway, where we got to the top and enjoyed even more stunning views of the cliffs and the waterfront. We had a nice early little picnic where we enjoyed views of the Falaise Manporte. Our next destination was the city of Rouen. Once in Rouen, we dropped our bags off at our Airbnb, and it was early evening at this point, so we prioritized visiting some of these churches that we wanted to see before they closed. Along our walk, we happened to walk past a church called the Abbatiale Saint-Ouen. This was a very appreciated stop because one thing I haven't mentioned is that when we were there, the temperatures were pretty sweltering at 35 degrees Celsius outside. And the temperature inside these stone churches tend to be a lot cooler. So we very much appreciated just walking around and cooling off in these churches. Another church that we walked by was the Église Catholique Saint-Maclot, but unfortunately it was closed by the time that we arrived, so we didn't get to see it. But it looked quite beautiful from the outside, and we would have been happy to visit it if it were open. I would say the primary tourist attraction of this city is the Cathédrale Notre-Dame de Rouen, which happens to be where Joan of Arc is buried. She started her journey from Dieppe to Rouen, where she was unfortunately burned at the stake. We were really blown away at how lovely this city was. To be honest, we didn't really know what to expect from some of these cities because we were visiting so many different cities in France. And we were very pleasantly surprised at how beautiful and charming the architecture in particular was, as well as all of the beautiful cafes and outdoor restaurants. We found it had a very lively, young atmosphere, so we would really love to visit the city again and give it a bit more time to explore. We decided to finish off the evening at this nice bar where they had socially distanced tables outdoors, and we enjoyed just having drinks and having the rest of our evening to relax. The next day, we took a train from Rouen to the town of Bayeux, where we were very happy to find out that we were able to check in early and drop our bags off right when we arrived in the morning. The first thing we did was just enjoyed walking around this cute, charming town, and where we also stopped to have a little picnic lunch at a local park. One of the main attractions of this town is that it's very close to the D-Day beaches, which for those of you who are familiar with World War II history, this was a pivotal point in the war when the Americans and the British liberated the French from the Nazis. Bayeux is quite remarkable compared to a lot of the other towns in this region in that it was not bombed as extensively as some of the other nearby towns. So if you are someone who likes World War II history but also wants to see some of the architecture that has been retained, fortunately, over time, then Bayeux, we feel, is a great choice. One area to learn more about the history of the Battle of Normandy is to visit the Museum of the Battle of Normandy here in town. It's pretty cheap admission, I think only about €5 per person, and it has a lot of displays kind of discussing the various events that happened on D-Day, as well as showing some of the military equipment and paraphernalia from the time that all of this happened. Another must-see attraction in Bayeux is the Bayeux Cathedral, which is really quite large and impressive considering how small this town is, and it really dominates the cityscape. This cathedral is really quite nice to walk around both inside and outside. We finished our day off just walking around the town during this lovely sunset hour, where we really just found that the color of the sky accented how cute and charming this town was. So if you're in town and you have a beautiful sunset time, then really just enjoy it and take it in, because there's just something special about walking around these cute French towns during such beautiful lighting. Alright, that is it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like and a subscribe, and stay tuned for more content like this. In our next video, episode 4, we'll be taking you to the Bretagne region, including Saint-Malo, Mont-Saint-Michel, and Dinan. See you then. Bye.